Alright, welcome back everyone. New show today for the Logical Gamershow. I want to go over this big reaction to everyone's going on with Starfield and coming to PlayStation 5 announcement. I really want to get into that because if you guys watched the show live, you see what we talked about, how we did everything. We presented Gamescom live, and at the end of the show, they announced, which what we all pretty much expected, is that they're going to have Indiana Jones and the Great Circle come to PlayStation 5. Really pissed me off. You guys that watched the show with us, you could see that it really pissed me off. There's a lot of things that Microsoft is doing right now that I really don't get what direction they're going. It doesn't make sense. There's a lot of things going on with Microsoft with bad PR. And I wanted to go over that, get your guys' opinion. Again, before we start, remember to like and follow everything. Click the bell for subscriptions. And follow us on X over at the Logical Gamer Show. And me, Michael Bacher, and Joe, Legend Hero, as well. We'll have the link below in the description. But after Gamescom, Phil Spencer of Xbox, and this seems to be like another weekly thing that Phil Spencer does some sort of damage control interview for Xbox, and it's just getting fucking ridiculous at this point. I mean, they've been changing to cloud, focusing on cloud, which is fine if you want to start focusing on cloud. That's where the technology is heading. After all, gaming technology changes, everything is going to have to change. They can't just stick to old-fashioned things. They have to change, but there's a way to do it in changing while keeping your core group of fans happy. And in Phil Spencer's interview, he's always been saying that he wants to bring more games to more players. Okay, why not bring more Xbox games to more Xbox players? Why do you have to bring more of the Xbox games to everybody else? Now remember, I mean, this year alone, Xbox has released more games on PlayStation than they have on Xbox. They released Pentiment, 4 games, Sea of Thieves, Grounded, and I forget what the 4th game is. I can't remember. And the next big game is going to be Indiana Jones. Now, their wording is unclear. First, it was just 4 games that they were going to bring, which, let's be honest, I think we all knew at this point that was going to be a lie. Everybody knew that wasn't going to be just 4 games. But we knew it, so they had to know it. So why say it in the first place? And the second result is that what we're doing as fans, because if more games come to PlayStation 5 and its fans, there's going to be less reason for us to go out and buy the newest Xbox if we already have one, or new players that may want one to go to an Xbox is like, why would I just get an Xbox? I can get a PlayStation. I'm going to be able to play all their games anyway, plus PlayStation games. It's a totally legitimate argument. And I haven't seen anyone combat this yet because I don't think it's possible. You can't. And another one is what's even more concerning, with people don't seem to realize, if there's less people buying Xbox, remember, there's less of a reason for developers to make games for the Xbox itself. And we see it happening right now. Black Myth Wukong, I'm playing it on, I own every console. Black Myth Wukong, I'm playing it on PlayStation 5. It's one of the best games I've played. To me, it's actually probably the best game that's been available on the PlayStation 5 exclusive. Tied with Ghost of Tsushima is the best. It's better than the Horizon games, better than God of War. The exploration is awesome. The combat is phenomenal. The way they have it set up, everything is great. But they didn't make it for Xbox. It's going to be delayed. And why? It's because of the development and the hard issues that they've been having with the development. Last year was Baldur's Gate 3. We got it months later on Xbox. And by that time, all the big hype was drowned out. And Xbox players didn't really want to play it anymore. They did, sold a lot, but it wasn't as big as it could have been on Xbox. And remember, sales, which we noted in our previous show, sales are down 40% on Xbox consoles year over year, last quarter. So that means 40% of new sales on Xbox have gone down. So in their current marketing scheme from last year to this year, which we all have seen has been better. The summer showcase has been touted as the best gaming showcase ever, let alone just Xbox One, not just Xbox in general, but everybody forever. And with that, sales are still down in that quarter. Now, even if you want to say, well, okay, it was near the end of the quarter and we have to wait to this current, okay, but do you really think they're going to go up more? And you're going to sell more than they did last year, the quarter before, 5 quarters ago? That's not going to happen. It's getting ridiculous now at this point. And I'm not sure what Microsoft wants to do. Like last week we got rumors that at Gamescom it was going to be the next big game, in quotes, was possibly Forza, but we didn't. That ended up not happening. Of course, it ended up being Indiana Jones. Now the game looks great, but not only did the message that they do is by posting this on another game coming to PS5, the message that is showing to gamers, but the way they did it has sucked. It's just fucking awful marketing on Microsoft's part. Think about it. First it was 4 games. Now it's Indiana Jones. What's going to be next? And the way they did it was, at the end of it, they show that whole game. It looks great. It looks phenomenal. Not one person says the game looks bad. Everybody is looking forward to this game. But what they don't realize is when you throw that at the end with, just a one more thing announcement, and you make that announcement. It's not like it was one more thing and the game's out now, or one more thing and we're going to have free DLC or something. It's one more thing and, by the way, it's not exclusive. That's all everyone's talking about. Not the game. No one's talking about the game anymore and how good it looks. They're just talking about the fact that it's going to PlayStation 5. So not only does that take away the hype for the game, but it minimizes all the work that Machine Games has been doing. They've been breaking their ass on this game at Bethesda, and no one seems to care about the work they did or the game. It's just the fact that it's going to PlayStation. Now, what I don't get is Microsoft had to know what they're doing. They're a $3 trillion company. They clearly know what they're doing. You don't just become this only $3 trillion company in the history of the world by just reasons. So at least give us a heads up or a roadmap as fans. We need a roadmap as fans, because think about it. There's so much negativity from the Xbox fan base now, and every interview Phil Spencer's doing, he mentions it. It's constant damage control. I don't remember an interview in the last year that Phil Spencer has done that hasn't mentioned Xbox games going to other platforms. I don't remember a PlayStation interview ever about PlayStation games going to Xbox platforms, but every time Phil Spencer gets on a mic, it's, what game is coming up next, Phil? What game's coming up next, Phil? For the fans, it's their marketing plan. And again, it's not just me. It's clearly everybody else if he's getting mentioned at every interview. But what Microsoft's doing seems to be misleading at best and just straight up lying at worst. Because if you didn't know that any other games are coming to PlayStation and you just said it why would you even say it? And why say it the way they did, where we're only going to do 4 in such a finite way? And if you did know, why lie to us? Because you're losing all that goodwill that Xbox has built up and the platform has built up with Microsoft over the last few years. And it's in a time when PlayStation 5 is struggling. Right now, PlayStation has no real exclusives this year. None. The only reason Black Myth Wukong is an exclusive is because of the issues with Xbox. There's no a Spider-Man game or a God of War game similar to a Halo or Gears of War on Xbox that's been coming on to PlayStation this year. And in doing that, this is the time that you need to motor and gain traction away from PlayStation. And instead, they're just mucking it all up and not doing anything. They're losing all the good from the backward compatibility goodwill, and from the cloud-based game goodwill, from getting early access to certain games on cloud, from the Activision deal with Call of Duty, and the new Activision game is going to be day one on Game Pass. All that stuff. They're making goodwill on that and good moves. They are good things for the history and the future of Microsoft and Xbox. But now no one's talking about that. No one at all. No one's talking about it. All they're talking about is all these bad things. Now, if this was in a big PS5 time, if this was in a year Horizon and Spider-Man and God of War were coming out, Microsoft would be consoles would be damn near put to death. Damn near on their deathbed. Now, when it comes to their marketing plan, people and their attention spans nowadays. It's very little. People nowadays can't remember what they had for fucking breakfast, let alone what happened 3 weeks ago in the video game industry. It doesn't matter. A lot of times people play a game and they play it 2 weeks and they forget about it. But when it comes to this little by little marketing thing all the time and bad news that Microsoft is doing, it makes it exponentially worse. Because if you have one big bad news thing, just tell me right away. Just tell me right away. But when it's little by little by little, you're constantly talking about it. And when you're talking about something bad for a longer time, people make it worse in their heads. And that's just the way it is. That's just human nature. Again, Microsoft has to know this. They're not robots running it. We got people running it. So just tell us, just end it. What Microsoft needs to do is just end it. Tell us now what the deal is and move on. Say, look, we don't know what games. We decide. Sometimes we decide games coming out. Sometimes we do it beforehand. This is what we know. This is what we do. So at least we'll know, and we don't build up. Even if it's, look, we don't know. We decide halfway through development whether or not we're going to do. Okay, at least I know that there's a chance. And at a certain point, knowing that, we should expect updates from Microsoft every time they announce a brand new game. But again, people don't know what they ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you want them to do. If you do that and say, look, what would you rather want? Do you just want Xbox constantly to be in the news? Or do you want some good news to finally just say, look, this is what we're doing. Our games are going to move to other consoles. They're no going to long be ever exclusives. They're going to be, all of our exclusives are going to be timed exclusives now, where Xbox players can play it 6 months early or a year early or 3 months early. Then it'll go to PlayStation. But it'll be on Steam and Xbox just like it is now. It'll be free to Game Pass subscribers every time. But sorry, PlayStation, it's our game. You got to wait 6 months. Okay, at least I know that. So it's not a constant thing. And that would suck, and you would have everybody like me doing reaction videos on it. But that would last 2 weeks, maybe. And then that would be it. You never see it again. You think if they did that today, if Microsoft came out with that announcement, that a year from now we'd still be talking about it? Fuck no. The only reason we're still talking about it is because they're still fucking doing it. That's it. And what gets people so upset, people like myself that have been playing Xbox since the original one came out 23 years ago, is that Xbox is Microsoft's, is Microsoft. You can't have Xbox without Microsoft. If they sold it off to another company, it would never go anywhere. But it seems like Microsoft has Xbox on the back burner. And it's minimizing what these fans like myself and everybody want to do. Let us know what you think. Do you think that Microsoft should just do this rip off the Band-Aid, get it all done, reaction through in one? Let us know what you think. Send us a message on X. Me, personally, I think it is. Again, you think I missed something? Am I wrong? Say, Mike, what the fuck are you talking about? Let me know. Throw us on X, follow us on X. Is Microsoft doing the right thing with this little by little drip drab negative news? Or should they just, like I said, rip off the Band-Aid and get everything done? Let us know below. Are you happy about this? Do you expect Starfield, Forza, Halo, Gears to even come on the PlayStation at a certain time? Or are certain franchises just going to be untouchable? Right? Again, I could see Indiana Jones because it's never been out yet. It doesn't have that nostalgia feeling on Xbox like Halo and Gears of War is. I mean, Halo and Gears of War Story are pretty much two of the most epic games there is. I personally think Gears of War Story is better than the Halo franchise. A lot of people do. A lot of people don't. A lot of people give me shit for that just because Halo was out so earlier and basically invented online gaming. But from the campaign perspective, I think Gears of War is a lot better. Forza, those are the top 3 Xbox franchises. Gears, Halo, and Forza. You think they're going to come to PlayStation at any point? Or you think those are like the untouchables with the future games only coming to build up that nostalgia? Let us know what you think. Let us know below. Again, thanks for following us. Logical Gamer Show.